On the day when the true daughter of the Lin family returned, I found myself squatting in the garden, indulging in a watermelon. Aunt Zhang, the housekeeper, rushed over in a flurry, her skirt stained with mud.
Miss.
What are you still doing here? Madam is looking for you. I spat out 2 black seeds. Oh, I'm coming. Juice dripped from my fingers, sticky and sweet. I casually wiped my hands on the expensive imported turf. Aunt Zhang's eyelids twitched in distress.
Miss.
Please wipe your hands. This turf is quite costly. It's fine, a little wipe will do, I replied, rising and carrying the remaining half of the watermelon towards the main house. The atmosphere inside the villa was taut as a drawn bowstring. My adoptive parents, Lin Guodong and Su Mingjia, the heads of the Lin group, sat rigidly on their opulent European-style sofa, their postures stiff and formal, resembling priceless antique porcelain figures. Beside them stood their biological son, my nominal elder brother, Lin Shuyuan, who furrowed his brow at the watermelon in my hands. "Shinyu, put that down," he said, his voice low and restrained. My Mothero no, Miss Su Mingjia forced a reassuring smile in my direction. "Xiaoyu, why don't you return to your room for a while? Later, mother will talk to you." Her well-maintained visage bore an unmistakable tension and a hint of guilt. I took another crisp bite of the watermelon. Deliciously sweet. Mom, I swallowed the pulp, the juice cooling my throat. Has my new sister arrived? Should I cut her a piece? It's quite sweet. Lin Guodong's face paled slightly. Lin Shuyuan closed his eyes for a moment, wearing an expression of discomfort. Su Mingjia struggled to maintain her faint smile. At that moment, the door was respectfully pushed open by the butler. A girl stood timidly at the threshold, clad in a faded dress. She was slender, her skin somewhat pale. Her features bore a striking resemblance to Su Mingjia, particularly her eyes clear and filled with a startled, deer-like bewilderment. Behind her was a plain-looking, anxious middle-aged woman. The true daughter, Lin Wan, accompanied by her adoptive mother, Aunt Wang. The air became thick with tension. Every gaze fixated on the fragile girl. Su Mingjia abruptly stood, her eyes instantly glistening with tears. Wan, her voice choked as she staggered forward. Lin Guodong also rose, his usually stern countenance softened. Lin Shuyuan quickly followed suit. The family of 3 was finally reunited, a scene of warmth and heartfelt emotion. I stood there, still clutching the half-watermelon, resembling an incongruous prop. No one paid me any mind, except for the newly arrived true daughter, Lin Wan. Her timid gaze timidly traversed the shoulders of her new family, landing on me, filled with curiosity and a barely perceptible wariness. I smiled at her, lifting the melon in my hand. With my lips, I silently asked, "Would you like some?" She appeared momentarily taken aback, quickly lowering her head to bury her face in the fragrant embrace of Su Mingjia, which reeked of expensive perfume. I shrugged. If she didn't want any, so be it. Turning away, I carried my melon, preparing to ascend the stairs. "Xiaoyu," Lin Guodong's voice called from behind, deliberately softened. He gently patted Lin Wan's back, his gaze shifting to me. "You saw it too. Wan has returned." "Indeed," I nodded. "There have been some changes at home." He chose his words carefully. "The master bedroom you used to occupy had the best lighting and ideal location." Su Mingjia, holding Lin Wan, glanced at me, her expression laden with complexity. "Xiaoyu, Wan has endured much hardship over the years. That room was always prepared for a true lady." Lin Shuyuan remained silent, merely observing me, his eyes scrutinizing. I understood. It had been 20 years of a crow occupying the magpie's nest, and now the true phoenix had returned. This wild mountain chicken ought to recognize its need to vacate. Very well, I swallowed the last morsel of melon, casually placing the smooth rind on a gleaming antique low table nearby. "Understood. I will move."
Right now.
The 3 of them were momentarily stunned, perhaps not anticipating my abruptness. Lin Guodong's prepared lengthy discourse choked in his throat. Su Mingjia's expression of guilt deepened. "Xiaoyu, that's not what I meant." I interrupted her, directly inquiring of the butler, old Zhou. "Where is the servant's room?" Old Zhou appeared bewildered, instinctively responding, "In the back courtyard. Next to the kitchen, there's also a smaller empty room."
All right.
I lifted my foot and headed upstairs to gather my belongings.
"Shenyu."
Lin Shuyuan finally spoke, his tone tinged with disbelief. "You don't need to do this. There are other guest rooms in the house. No need for trouble." I did not look back, bounding up the stairs, confident that I would sleep soundly in the small room. I truly did not possess much. Designer clothes, bags, and shoes? That was the attire of Lin family's eldest daughter, Shenyu. Little connection to my true self. I only took what belonged to me. A few well-worn old shirts and jeans, a tablet used for years, now with frayed edges, and an old tin box filled with odds and ends. Oh, and there was that half-human-sized, faded carrot-shaped pillow, which I had grown accustomed to holding while sleeping. Even a single suitcase could not be filled to capacity. As I dragged my box downstairs, the family of four retained their previous posture, yet their expressions had grown more intricate, as if observing a performance of conceptual art. Lin Wan nestled in Su Minjia's embrace, casting furtive glances at me. Father, mother, brother, I called out. My tone as casual as if I were stating my intention to buy an ice cream from the convenience store downstairs. I'm moving in. Lin Guodong opened his mouth. Su Minjia's eyes became redder. Xiao Yu. Sister. I turned to Lin Wan, forcing a smile I deemed friendly. Welcome home. Lin Wan's body subtly recoiled. I paid it no mind. Dragging my worn suitcase, I walked toward the small servant's room in the back courtyard, under old Zhou's complex gaze. The room was indeed small, a single bed, an old desk, and a little wardrobe with peeling paint. That was all. The window faced the back courtyard, revealing the exhaust pipe from the kitchen. A faint scent of cooking oil lingered in the air. Quite nice, I mused, appreciating the mundanity of life. I tossed the carrot pillow onto the bed, opened the window for ventilation, and promptly made the bed, my movement swift. After laying out the sheets and duvet cover, I threw myself onto the somewhat firm single bed, clutching my carrot. I closed my eyes. Within 3 minutes, even breaths filled the room, accompanied by soft snores. Outside the window, Zhang Ma, peering in to see if I was crying, stood astounded. I slept soundly until awakened by old Zhou's call for dinner. In the dining room, the atmosphere remained somewhat delicate. The long European-style dining table had Lin Guodong seated at the head, with Su Minjia and Lin Wan on one side, and Lin Xiuyuan on the opposite. The empty seat beside Su Minjia had once been mine. Now, it was adorned with a set of tableware, clearly prepared for me. I pulled out a chair next to Lin Xiuyuan and settled down. Xiao Yu, Su Minjia regarded me. Oh, it's fine for me to sit here, I replied, picking up my chopsticks and eyeing the exquisite dishes spread across the table. That seat is better for my sister, closer to Mom for conversation. Lin Wan's hand, holding her chopsticks, paused. Lin Guodong cleared his throat. Let us eat. Although the food was not to be discussed, the silence felt stifling. Only I focused on my meal. Savoring the culinary artistry of the Lin family chef, the braised spare ribs were flavorful, the steamed fish tender, even the stir-fried greens crisp. I relished each bite. After finishing a bowl of rice, I naturally extended my hand. Zhang Ma, could I trouble you for half a bowl more? Zhang Ma hurried over to serve me. Lin Wan picked at her food, hardly taking any vegetables. Su Minjia, with maternal concern, offered her a piece of sweet and sour ribs. Wan, try this. It was your favorite when you were little. Lin Wan hesitated as she gazed at the glossy piece of rib in her bowl. Lin Xiuyuan also offered her a portion of stir-fried shrimp. This is good too, light. Lin Wan's bowl began to pile up. She seemed increasingly uncomfortable. I stirred my rice, thinking how immense the pressure felt. After dinner, Lin Guodong spoke. Wan has just returned and needs to adapt. Xiuyuan, please take care of your sister. Lin Xiuyuan nodded. Dad, I understand. Xiao Yu, Lin Guodong turned to me. Father, I set down my chopsticks, wiped my mouth. I've finished eating. I'll head back to my room now. Lin Guodong was at a loss for words again. Tomorrow is Monday. I have to work, I added. I need to rest early.
Work?
Su Minjia exclaimed. Xiao Yu, you don't have to. Mom, I signed a contract. There's a 3-month probation period. And I can't simply take leave. I stood, nodding at Lin Wan. Good night, sister. Once again, I left the dining room, leaving behind a family with expressions varying from shock to concern. I returned to my small room, locked the door, showered, and changed into a comfortable old shirt. Clutching my carrot pillow, I opened my tablet and launched a casual game, the cheerful background music playing. My fingers glided across the screen, eliminating one block after another. Worries? Non-existent. The troubles of an employee could wait until tomorrow. For now, it was time to sleep. This position, arranged for me by Lin Xiuyuan, was at a small design company owned by one of his friends, following my university graduation with a purchase diploma. I worked as an administrative assistant, earning a monthly salary of 4,500. My hours were 9 to 6, with weekends off. The tasks were mundane, copying documents, booking meeting rooms, ordering afternoon tea, and affixing invoices. There was no technical expertise required, but it was pleasantly laid back. Colleagues called me Shinyu, unaware of my status as the Lin family's false heiress. Quite satisfactory. I rode my second-hand electric scooter and arrived punctually at the company entrance. After securing my vehicle, I purchased a sandwich for breakfast at the adjacent convenience store. Just as I stepped through the company doors, the receptionist, Xiao Lu, shot me a conspiratorial wink.
Shenyu.
Quick, check the group chat. I pulled out my phone. The company gossip group, the version shielded from the leaders, was ablaze with notifications. OMG. Huge scoop. Check out the financial news alert. The Lin family. As in, the Lin group. True or false, Heiress? Is this a novel come to life? Link. Chairman of the Lin group appears with his long-lost true heiress, stirring emotions. Image. Family portrait of the Lin family, with Lin Wan prominently smiling. In the corner, my shadowy figure, clutching half a melon, resembles a mere background prop.
Wait.
That silhouette looks somewhat familiar? No way. Doesn't it resemble Shenyu?
Shenyu, come out.
Confess and receive leniency. Are you the so-called illegitimate daughter who was expelled? I nibbled on a sandwich, typing slowly. Shenyu. Yes, that's me. The group chat fell into a sudden silence. 3 seconds later, messages flooded in. Is Shenyu serious? OMG. The protagonist of a dramatic rich family is right beside me? Then why are you still at work? Riding an electric scooter? Shenyu. Who will pay my salary if I don't work? Shenyu. What is wrong with the scooter? It's fuel efficient and avoids traffic. Shenyu. By the way, which place should we order afternoon tea from? Should we stick with that cake shop downstairs? The chat fell silent once more. I then shifted the conversation to afternoon tea and reimbursement procedures. However, throughout that day, I felt the weight of countless curious, sympathetic, and even schadenfreude glances wherever I went, accompanied by hushed whispers. It's her. She looks quite ordinary. So pitiful, having fallen from grace. What is so pitiful about it? She enjoyed 20 years of luxury. The real heiress deserves pity. I chose to ignore them, focusing instead on my tasks, making copies, booking meeting rooms, and handling invoices. In the afternoon, Sister Wang from the finance department approached me with a reimbursement form. Little Shun, this taxi receipt doesn't match the time. Oh, the driver must have made an error. I took the receipt and reattached it. And this one? Sister Wang leaned closer, her voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper, her eyes sparkling with gossip. Is it true what they're saying in the group? I looked up at her. Sister Wang, there's an issue with the reimbursement form that I need to rectify. My personal matters. I gestured to the stack of forms in her hand. Seem unrelated to this month's departmental dinner budget, don't they? Sister Wang retreated awkwardly. After work, I rode my electric scooter home. As soon as I stepped into the Lin family mansion, I sensed something was amiss. In the living room, Lin Wan's eyes were red, as if she had been crying. Su Minjia was comforting her softly, while Lin Guodong wore a grim expression. Lin Shuyuan sat nearby, his brow furrowed. Upon seeing me, Lin Wan visibly flinched and huddled closer to Su Minjia. The glance Su Minjia shot me carried a hint of barely concealed reproach. Little Yu is back.
Yes.
I changed my shoes. How was work today? Lin Guodong inquired. Quite well, I replied, placing my bag down. Dad, Mom. I'll head to my room first. Wait, Lin Shuyuan called out, his tone somewhat frosty. What did you say to Wan Wan? I was taken aback. What did I say? I just got back from work and haven't even seen my sister. Then why did Wan Wan see those chaotic news notifications? Lin Shuyuan questioned, his tone accusatory. She just got home and is already sensitive. Seeing reports about the so-called illegitimate daughter occupying the rightful heiress's place made her cry for an entire afternoon. I understood. I turned my gaze to Lin Wan, who was staring at the ground, her shoulders trembling. Oh, I nodded. Next time, let her avoid those trashy news articles.
Shenyu.
Lin Shuyuan raised his voice. What kind of attitude is that? Wan Wan is upset because of you. Don't you feel any remorse? Remorse? I almost laughed. Brother, I looked at him. Did I write the news? Did I hire the reporters? Did I instruct anyone to take those photos? If my sister is upset, I also feel regret. But the source of this issue clearly isn't me. Lin Shuyuan was left speechless. Lin Guodong's expression turned serious. Enough. Shuyuan, little Yu is right. It's those media outlets sensationalizing the truth. He turned to Lin Wan, softening his tone. Wan Wan, don't cry. Those are all nonsense. From now on, we'll be a family, and no one will dare write anything misleading. Su Minjia also consoled her gently. Lin Wan lifted her head, her eyes glistening with tears as she glanced at me. Her gaze was timid, yet carried an indescribable meaning. Sister, I'm sorry. It's not that I blame you. It's just, seeing those comments makes me feel uneasy. It's alright, I waved my hand. If it makes you uneasy, don't read them. Focus on happier things. With that, I turned and walked towards the backyard. Behind me, I could hear Su Minjia's soothing voice. Look at our Wan, so understanding. Once I returned to my small room, I closed the door and locked it. The world fell silent. I opened my tablet and selected a mindless comedy variety show, turning up the volume. The laughter filled the room. Worries? Non-existent. Lin Wan began her assimilation courses, etiquette, flower arrangement, horse riding, jewelry appreciation. Su Minjia personally taught her, hiring the best instructors. She absorbed everything associated with being a daughter of the Lin family, like a sponge. Yet, during every family gathering, she remained noticeably reserved, speaking softly and only picking at the dishes in front of her. Minjia felt heartbroken, constantly finding ways to serve her food. Lin Xiuyuan would occasionally offer a few words of encouragement. Lin Guodong endeavored to play the role of a loving father.
Meanwhile,
I immersed myself in my meal, oblivious to the conversations around the table, focused solely on my food. That evening, Su Minjia had someone prepare bird's nest soup to nourish Lin Wan. Wan, try this. It's good for your skin. Lin Wan took a small sip. Su Minjia looked at me. Little you should have a bowl too. I was busy gnawing on a piece of sauced rib, my hands greasy. No need, Mom. I'll just stick with this. It's filling enough. Lin Xiuyuan cast a glance at my greasy hands, his brow furrowing slightly. Lin Wan set down her delicate white porcelain spoon. Sister, her voice soft, ISN, T-bird's nest very expensive? I replied, it's alright, it's priced by grams. This little bit is probably a few hundred yuan? Lin Wan's face instantly paled, her fingers twisting the hem of her clothes. I've never eaten anything this expensive before, her voice choked. When Aunt Wang was ill, she wouldn't even buy medicine that cost dozens of yuan. Su Minjia's eyes turned red immediately. Wan, my child, I'm so sorry for making you suffer. She hugged Lin Wan tightly, filled with sorrow. Lin Guodong set down his chopsticks with a sigh. Lin Xiuyuan's gaze toward me carried that same disapproval, as if blaming me for mentioning money and upsetting my sister. I silently finished the rib, wiped my hands clean. Mom, sister, I'm full now. I'll head back to my room. Little you, Su Minjia called out. Her face still streaked with tears. Tomorrow we're having a small gathering at home, just some acquaintances you. I have plans for tomorrow, I interrupted. A shopping trip with my college roommate. It's been arranged for a while. Su Minjia paused, looking somewhat disappointed, but also relieved. All right then. Lin Wan lifted her head from Su Minjia's embrace, whispering, Sister, I hope you have fun. I nodded. Once back in my small room, I closed the door. I could still faintly hear the sobs and comforting voices from the living room. I opened my tablet and launched the game Happy Eliminator. Eliminate, worries gone. The next day, I slept until I woke naturally. The sunlight streamed through the small window, warm and inviting. I indeed had plans. My college roommate and close friend, Zhao Lele, a cheerful and optimistic soul, was waiting for me. We agreed to meet at a budget-friendly mall in the city center. You, over here. Zhao Lele, dressed in a colorful shirt, waved at me. I approached and she pulled me into a hug. You're incredible. Such a big scandal. And you're still as steady as a rock. Your mental fortitude is impressive. I pushed her away playfully. What else should I do? Cry and wail? Absolutely not. Zhao Lele laughed. Let us go. I'll treat you to spicy hot pot. Extra spicy to celebrate your escape from the clutches of a wealthy family. We dove into the bustling food court on the basement level of the mall, ordering 2 large bowls of spicy hot pot. The red broth bubbled hot, the aroma intoxicating. This is bliss. Zhao Lele was perspiring profusely as she ate. I must say, your genuine Heiress sister appears utterly fatigued. TSK. How could you be so at ease? I buried my head in my fish tofu. By the way, are you truly residing in the servants' quarters? Zhao Lele leaned closer, lowering her voice. Isn't that rather ungracious of them? After all, they have raised her for 20 years. Quite well. I sipped my soup, savoring the tranquility.
Well,
you are impressive. Zhao Lele gave me a thumbs up, her composure enviable. However, she mischievously grinned. What about your brother Lin Xiuyuan? Does he have no feelings at all? You two were childhood sweethearts. People used to say you were his fiancée. I nearly choked. Who spread such rumors? Me and him? It's purely sibling affection. More genuine than 24-karat gold. Boring, Zhao Lele remarked, disappointed. I thought I might hear some tales of a tumultuous romance among the elite. After finishing our meal, we commenced our raid on the discount section. Look, this shirt is only 59. Buy one get one free. Let us each take one. These jeans have a nice cut. 199 for 2 pairs. Let us go for it.
Wow.
Canvas shoes. Buy 2 get 1 free. Hurry. By the afternoon, we were laden with bags of our spoils, each spending less than 300, thoroughly satisfied. As dusk approached, I rode my little electric scooter home. Upon entering the door, I sensed an unsettling atmosphere, even more tense than the previous day. In the living room, Su Minjia's complexion was ashen, while Lin Guodong's brow was furrowed. Lin Shuyuan sat on the sofa, his fingers restlessly drumming on the armrest. Lin Wan was curled up in a single chair, her head bowed, her shoulders trembling slightly. On the floor lay a shattered exquisite white porcelain bowl, the viscous, glistening bird's nest scattered across the luxurious carpet, leaving behind a scene of chaos. What happened? I set down my shopping bags. Su Minjia seemed to have just noticed my presence, her eyes red-rimmed. Xiao Yu, you're back. Lin Shuyuan abruptly looked up at me, his gaze sharp.
Shenyu.
Did you say something to Wan Wan?
Here we go again.
I felt a twinge of annoyance. I hadn't been home all day. What could I possibly have said? A dream message? Then why did Wan Wan throw the bird's nest? Lin Shuyuan pointed at the mess on the floor, his tone laced with anger. Aunt Wang kindly reheated it for her, and she suddenly threw a tantrum. She even said we don't treat her like a person, humiliating her with these expensive things. Lin Wan shot her head up, tears streaming down her face. I didn't. Brother. I just saw Aunt Wang bring it over, and suddenly remembered how my foster mother wouldn't even let me have a bowl of sweet soup, saving it all for me. I felt upset and slipped. She sobbed, breathless. I truly didn't mean to. I'm sorry, Mom, I'm sorry. Su Minjia's heart shattered in that instant. Wan Wan, don't cry. Mom knows you didn't mean it. It's my fault. I shouldn't always let you have these things. Lin Guodong sighed heavily. All right, enough. Let us just clean up. He wearily rubbed his temples. Wan Wan just came back, and we overlooked her feelings. From now on, let us keep things simpler at home. Lin Shuyuan looked at Lin Wan, who was weeping uncontrollably, then at the chaos on the floor, ultimately saying nothing more. However, the glint of suspicion in his gaze remained directed at me. I couldn't be bothered to explain. I bent down and retrieved the discounted yogurt I had bought for Aunt Zhang from my shopping bag. Aunt Zhang, this is for you. Aunt Zhang, who had been clutching a cloth, looked helplessly at the bird's nest on the floor. Stunned by my words, she quickly accepted it. Oh, thank you, miss. No need for thanks, I replied, lifting the remaining bags. Mom, Dad, brother, sister, I'm heading to my room. As I passed by Lin Wan, she looked up at me with tear-filled eyes. Deep within her gaze, there seemed to be a hint of triumph. I walked past her with a neutral expression. In my small room, the sound insulation was poor, allowing me to faintly hear Su Minjia's gentle coaxing and Lin Wan's intermittent sobs from the main house. I put on my headphones, opened my tablet, and launched Plants vs. Zombies. I planted sunflowers, then pea shooters. Boom, boom, boom. I was vanquishing zombies. Worries? Merely fleeting clouds. Life drifted by, neither salty nor sweet. Lin Wan's training as a heiress progressed rapidly. She was already quite intelligent and, with her diligence, soon exhibited elegance and poise. Her floral arrangement skills were commendable, and she could even engage Lin Shuyuan in simple discussions about finance. Su Minjia was immensely gratified, boasting to everyone. R11 is truly a natural-born aristocrat. Lin Guodong also wore a proud expression, while Lin Shuyuan grew increasingly approving of his younger sister. Yet, each time he looked at me, his brow furrowed even deeper, perhaps feeling I was a lost cause. One day, Lin Guodong hosted a banquet at home to entertain several important business partners, officially introducing Lin Wan to the social circle. Su Minjia had been organizing everything since early morning, with the servants bustling about. My small room was located in the backyard, relatively quiet, yet I could still feel the palpable tension. In the afternoon, Su Minjia specifically came to find me in the backyard. She was dressed in a tailored qipao, her makeup meticulously done. Xiao Yu, this evening. Mom, I interjected. I have a department dinner tonight. Su Minjia visibly relaxed but still said, Oh, is that so? Take care of yourself. As evening descended, I rode my little scooter out. The department dinner was merely a ruse. I sought solitude. I found a quiet CAF, ordered the cheapest lemonade, and settled down with my tablet to read an ebook. It wasn't until after 9 that I leisurely returned home, estimating the banquet must have concluded. The villa was ablaze with lights, and the servants were still cleaning up. However, the atmosphere felt peculiar. Aunt Zhang spotted me and hurried over.
Miss.
You're back. What happened? There was a commotion. Mister was furious. Aunt Zhang whispered, her face pale with fear. I raised an eyebrow as I approached the main house's living room. Before even stepping inside, I heard Lin Guodong's restrained roar. What a disgrace. You've brought shame upon the Lin family.
Dad.
Please calm down. Wanwan didn't he mean it? Lin Xiuyuan's voice protested.
Didn't he mean it?
With so many guests present, she actually spilled red wine all over Chairman Chen. Do you know who Chairman Chen is? He's our largest raw material supplier. Dad, it's only natural for Wanwan to be nervous at her first event. Su Minjia's voice trembled. Nervous? I think she was being presumptuous. Lin Guodong was evidently livid when someone asked her where she studied. She acted as if her tail had been stepped on, speaking sarcastically about how she was better off than her sister, having grown up in a honey pot. Can you hear yourself? Wanwan was stimulated. Su Minjia continued to defend her. Stimulated? I think she's just envious of Xiaoyu.
Dad.
Please don't say that about Wanwan. Lin Xiuyuan interjected, agitated. I pushed the door open. In the living room, Lin Guodong's face was stormy as he paced back and forth. Su Minjia sat on the sofa, wiping her tears. Lin Xiuyuan stood nearby, looking displeased. Lin Wan was collapsed on the carpet, her hair disheveled, the hem of her gown stained with wine, her makeup running, looking utterly pitiful. As I entered, all eyes turned to me. Lin Wan's sobs faltered for an instant, and her gaze met mine, instantly filled with resentment and reproach. Sister, she sniffled, are you satisfied now? I was bewildered. What does this have to do with me? Ignoring her, I turned to Lin Guodong. You shouldn't let your anger affect your health. Lin Guodong gasped in frustration, shooting me a glare. His expression was complex, a mixture of anger, disappointment, and perhaps a touch of despair. You certainly know how to avoid trouble. I nodded. Yes, I've done quite well in that regard. Lin Guodong was rendered speechless, nearly breathless from my retort. Lin Xiuyuan's gaze was ablaze with fury.
Shen Yu.
Can't you say something kind? Wanwan is in this state. As I gazed down at Lin Wan, my younger sister, I asked, why are you crying? Her sobs intensified. Enough. Lin Guodong exclaimed irritably, waving his hand. Return to your rooms. It's vexing to watch. I was more than willing to comply, and turned to leave. Behind me, Lin Guodong's weary voice called out, Mingxian, tomorrow, take Wanwan to the company. She'll start from the ground up. Focus. Stop daydreaming. Xiaoyu. I did not pause in my steps. You should go too. Support your sister. I halted, turning back. Dad, I have a job. What kind of job is that? Lin Guodong's temper flared again.
Quit.
Go to the company with your brother tomorrow. I would incur a penalty for breaking my contract, I replied calmly. The Lin family can afford it. He shot back, his gaze unwavering. Dad, my job is quite good.
Shen Yu.
Lin Guodong was thoroughly enraged now. I am the authority in this household. You will go. His voice grew more menacing. Guodong. Su Minjia quickly intervened. Don't frighten the child. Lin Guodong's chest heaved violently, and with a fierce gesture, he declared, do as you please. You are a lost cause. I nodded slightly. Then, I shall return to my room. Once back in my small sanctuary, I locked the door. The world grew quiet. I lay on my bed, clutching my carrot plushie, staring at the ceiling. The Lin Company, that coveted place where countless individuals sought to gain entry? A troublesome, monumental challenge. The most daunting of predicaments. The next day, I rode my little electric scooter to work, as usual. I copied documents, booked meeting rooms, and occasionally assisted colleagues in fetching takeout. In the afternoon, Lin Xiuyuan's call pierced through. His tone was icily authoritative. Shen Yu, are you disregarding Dad's orders? Report to the Human Resources Department at the headquarters immediately. Brother, I'm working. I'll repeat myself. Come here at once.
Oh.
I hung up and resumed affixing my invoices. Half an hour later, a brazen black Bentley screeched to a halt outside our modest office. Lin Xiuyuan emerged, his face darkened with displeasure, striding into the building. The receptionist, Xiao Lu, dared not stop him as he marched directly to my workstation. With a resounding thud, he slammed a document onto my desk. Lin Corporation Employment Notification. Position, Executive Assistant to the President, intern. Now, come with me. His voice was low but carried an undeniable authority. The entire office fell silent, colleagues holding their breath and casting furtive glances. I glanced at the exquisitely crafted notification, then back at Lin Shuyuan's grim countenance. Brother, I sighed. The penalty for breaking my contract. The company will cover it. He nearly spat through clenched teeth.
Oh.
I slowly began to gather my belongings, my old water cup of 3 years, a few pens, and the carrot keychain that adorned my desk. Hurry.
All right.
Clutching my small cardboard box, I walked under the complex gaze of my colleagues, following Lin Shuyuan toward that symbol of wealth and status, the Bentley. I settled into the passenger seat, the leather upholstery exuding a crisp fragrance. Lin Shuyuan started the engine, which growled deeply. Xinyu, he said, eyes fixed ahead, voice frigid. Shelve that lazy demeanor of yours. This is Lin Corporation, not your little rundown company.
Oh.
Wanwan is also interning in the president's office. She's just starting and knows nothing. Be sure to guide her.
Hey.
And don't let her be bullied. Also, he turned his head slightly, his gaze sharp. Keep your distance from Zhou Ming.
Zhou? Who's that?
I asked, feigning ignorance. Lin Shuyuan's expression tightened further at my response, and with a disdainful scoff, he fell silent. The car glided into the opulent underground parking lot of Lin Corporation. The elevator whisked us to the top floor, the president's office. It was spacious, bright, and air-conditioned. The massive floor-to-ceiling windows framed a bustling cityscape. Men and women clad in professional attire, their makeup flawless, hurried about, the air thick with efficiency and the scent of wealth. It was an entirely different realm from my modest workplace. Lin Shuyuan introduced me to a shrewd-looking middle-aged woman. Secretary Li, this is Xinyu. Arrange her internship. Secretary Li adjusted her gold-rimmed glasses, surveying me with a critical eye. Clad in a plain shirt, faded jeans, and canvas shoes, with my cardboard box containing the carrot keychain, she barely concealed a flicker of disdain. Very well, Mr. Lin, she replied in a businesslike tone. Lin Shuyuan retreated into the president's office, and Secretary Li directed me to a corner desk. This is your position. Your account password is on the desk. Familiarize yourself with the company rules and employee handbook.
Today.
Just get acquainted with the environment. With that, she strode away in her high heels. I set down my box and surveyed my surroundings. Not far away, Lin Wan occupied a conspicuously better position by the window. Dressed in a chic Chanel suit and sporting light makeup, she was focused intently on her computer. 2 young female assistants hovered nearby, their demeanor overly attentive. Wanwan, I've organized this report for you. Wanwan, do you need a coffee refill? I can help. Wanwan, do you need assistance polishing that task Mr. Lin assigned? Lin Wan looked up, offering a gentle, poised smile. Thank you, Sister Wang. Thank you, Xiao Li. But I can manage on my own. Her voice was soft, her demeanor humble, a stark contrast to the hysterical girl from the previous night. She seemed to sense my gaze and turned her head slightly, her smile fading for just a moment, something flickering in her eyes too fleeting to grasp. Then, she gave me a slight nod, a silent greeting. I reciprocated and took my seat, opening my computer. An overwhelming array of tasks, processes, and notifications flooded my screen. I felt dizzy. I clicked on the employee handbook and began to read. Work hours, 9 to 6. Lunch break, 1.5 hours. Quite agreeable. Similar to my previous job. At noon, I grabbed my old lunchbox, preparing to head to the employee cafeteria. Just as I stood, Lin Wan approached, flanked by her attentive assistants. Sister, she smiled warmly, her voice soft. Let's eat together? The cafeteria is on the 3rd floor.
Oh, all right.
We took the elevator down together. The employee cafeteria was expansive, modernly decorated, and offered a plethora of dishes. Lin Wan's arrival sparked quite a commotion.
Look.
That's the genuine heiress, Lin Wan. And the one beside her is the fake? TSK, what a disparity in presence. I hear the real heiress is exceptionally capable, personally mentored by Mr. Lin. How did the fake even end up in the president's office? Must have been through connections. The murmurs were neither too loud nor too soft. Just enough to reach my ears. Lin Wan appeared unfazed, her demeanor composed as she selected a few exquisite dishes on her tray. I, on the other hand, headed straight for the most economical meal option, 1 meat, 1 vegetable, and a complimentary soup. As I settled down, Lin Wan and her 2 aides joined me. Sister, is this all you're eating? Lin Wan inquired, glancing at my tray. It's sufficient. It might lack some nutritional balance, she continued with genuine concern. How about I share some of mine? She deftly transferred a golden seared piece of cod from her tray to mine, her actions effortlessly generous, laced with an air of condescension. Her assistants immediately chimed in. Wan, you are too kind. Indeed, some people should recognize their place. I lowered my gaze at the gleaming piece of cod resting atop my rice, its sheen contrasting sharply with the meager serving of free spicy potato shreds beside it. I picked up my chopsticks and pushed the cod aside. I lifted a chopstick full of shredded potatoes and brought it to my mouth. Thank you, but no, I replied. Chewing on the potatoes, I found them quite enjoyable. Lin Wan's smile faltered for a moment. Sister, are you still angry with me?
No.
I understood that my return had caused her distress, and her eyes began to redden. Several gazes from the restaurant turned our way. Wan, don't say that. You are the true heiress of the Lin family. Indeed. Some have occupied the nest for 20 years. What right do they have to feel wronged? The two assistants chimed in immediately, their voices neither too loud nor too soft, clearly audible to those around us. Their contempt-filled stares were unmistakable. I set down my chopsticks and looked at Lin Wan. Sister, I said calmly, we should not speak while eating, as per our mother's teachings. Have you forgotten? Tears instantly welled in Lin Wan's eyes, her complexion shifting from red to pale. I haven't. Let's eat, I said, lifting the soup bowl and taking a sip. The soup was nearly cold. Lin Wan bit her lip, ultimately choosing to remain silent as she bowed her head and continued eating. The atmosphere during that meal was particularly oppressive. After finishing, I returned to the office, where Lin Wan was called away by Secretary Li, apparently to attend to something for Lin Xiaoyuan. I resumed my perusal of the employee handbook. In the afternoon, Secretary Li arrived, carrying a hefty stack of documents, which she unceremoniously dropped onto my desk. Xinyu, please organize these project archives from previous years by date and category. Update the electronic directory on the shared drive before you leave. I stared at the towering pile of files. Secretary Li, before I leave?
What?
Is there a problem? Her scrutinizing gaze peered over her gold-rimmed glasses. President Lin instructed that all newcomers must start from the basics. Miss Lin Wan has already organized part of it this morning. I glanced towards Lin Wan's desk, where she was focused intently on her computer, her fingers flying across the keyboard, her profile graceful and her demeanor concentrated. Next to her lay a neatly arranged stack of completed files. All right, I nodded, beginning my work. I opened the document bags, sorted, numbered, and entered data, mechanical and monotonous. Time passed slowly as the office gradually emptied. Lin Wan also departed. Before leaving, she cast a glance my way, her expression calm, perhaps even carrying a hint of encouragement. Sister, keep it up. In the vast president's office, I was left alone, accompanied only by the seemingly endless documents. The overhead fluorescent lights buzzed with a low hum. I rubbed my tired eyes and pressed on until the city outside was illuminated by vibrant neon lights. I struck the last return key. Done.
Save.
Shut down. I picked up my old canvas bag and exited the empty office. In the corridor, I unexpectedly encountered Lin Xiaoyuan emerging from the president's office. He paused upon seeing me. Leaving already?
Yes.
Have you finished the files?
Yes.
He regarded me for a moment, as if he wished to say something, but ultimately just nodded.
Get home early. Yes.
I walked towards the elevator, and behind me, I heard him on the phone. Yes, Wan performed excellently today. She adapted much faster than certain others. The elevator doors closed, cutting off the sound. Upon returning to the Lin residence, the villa was quiet. Lin Wan seemed to have gone to bed, while Su Minjia and Lin Guodong were likely in their room. I tiptoed back to my small room, locked the door, took a shower, and collapsed onto the bed, utterly exhausted, physically and mentally drained. I felt like a floundering fish, truly uncomfortable. How I longed for my little company. I clutched my carrot-shaped pillow and fell into a deep slumber. In the following days, my existence at Lin's was one of incessant menial tasks, endless errands. Organizing files, photocopying, running errands, ordering coffee, and fetching takeout for the entire president's office. Secretary Li seemed particularly eager to assign me tasks. Xinyu, go downstairs and pick up a package. Xinyu, adjust the projector in the conference room. Xinyu, deliver this document to the legal department. It's urgent. I spun around like a top, while Lin Wan's experience contrasted sharply. She attended meetings with Lin Xiaoyuan, took minutes, participated in project discussions, and occasionally proposed commendable ideas. Lin Xiaoyuan's gaze towards her grew increasingly appreciative, and Secretary Li and the assistants treated her with growing respect. Wan is truly clever. She understands everything at a glance. Indeed, she is the biological sister of President Lin. The genes are undoubtedly advantageous. I navigated among them like a transparent backdrop. One afternoon, Lin Xiaoyuan suddenly summoned everyone in the president's office for a meeting. The atmosphere was tense. The development plan for the land in the east of the city had been intercepted by the Zhou group. Lin Xiaoyuan's expression darkened. They had obtained our core bid and design plan in advance. The conference room erupted in chaos. How is that possible? The plan was only handled by our core team. The bid was finalized just yesterday. Is there a mole among us? Who leaked it? The crowd exchanged glances, suspicion evident in their eyes. Lin Xiaoyuan's sharp gaze swept over everyone present, finally landing on Lin Wan. Her face paled, fingers clenched tightly. Brother, Yesterday afternoon. Lin Xiaoyuan's voice turned icy. The only individuals who had contact with the complete electronic version of the plan, apart from me and Secretary Li, were you. Suddenly, every pair of eyes in the room focused on Lin Wan. Shock.
Doubt.
Lin Wan sprang to her feet, her body swaying unsteadily. Brother, it wasn't me. I swear it wasn't me. I would never harm the Lin family. Tears streamed down her face, her expression pitifully vulnerable. President Lin, Secretary Li interjected. Miss Wanwan has been exceedingly diligent. Her loyalty to the company is beyond question. Moreover, she shifted her tone. Yesterday afternoon, when Miss Wanwan went to the tea room, her computer was apparently left unlocked. All eyes swiftly turned to me. For indeed, yesterday afternoon, when Lin Wan went to the tea room, I was right beside her workstation, organizing documents to be shredded. Shen Yu. Lin Xiaoyuan's gaze pierced through me like a knife. What were you doing next to Lin Wan's workstation yesterday afternoon around 3 o'clock? I set down my pen. I was at the printer, preparing documents for the shredder. Did you see the plan on Lin Wan's computer? Lin Xiaoyuan pressed. The screen was on. I glanced at it. I responded honestly. And then, I recalled, then Secretary Li asked me to go downstairs to buy her coffee. Buy coffee? Lin Xiaoyuan turned to Secretary Li. Secretary Li adjusted her glasses. Yes. I had a bit of a headache yesterday afternoon and asked Shinyu to help me grab a hot Americano. I was gone for about 15 minutes.
Time. Motive.
Everything seemed to point towards me. The conference room fell into an eerie silence. The sound of a pin dropping could be heard. Lin Wan's sobs resonated clearly. Sister? She looked at me with tear-filled eyes, her voice trembling with disbelief and sorrow. Why? Why do this to me? Do you hate me so much? Do you resent me for coming back and taking away our parents and brother? Her accusations were heart-wrenching, igniting the emotions of everyone in the room. My goodness. So it was her. I knew it. A fake heiress can never truly find balance in her heart. How malicious. To betray the company. A white-eyed wolf. Scorn, anger, and accusatory glares rained down on me like arrows. Lin Xiaoyuan's face was as dark as a storm cloud. He looked at me, his gaze filled with utter disappointment and coldness. Shinyu, he said, suppressing the storm in his voice, do you have anything to say? I sat there in silence. Under the scrutiny of all present, I remained remarkably composed. The computer log lay before us. I spoke, my voice soft yet distinctly cutting through the murmur of conversation. What? Lin Xiaoyuan furrowed his brow. Examine Lin Wan's computer operation logs. I met Secretary Li's gaze, explaining that the system maintained a background record, every document's opening, modification, copying, and transfer, including device insertion logs, were all documented. The permission passwords were solely accessible to you and CEO Lin. Secretary Li's complexion shifted dramatically. Lin Wan's sobs ceased abruptly. The conference room fell into an oppressive silence. Every pair of eyes pivoted sharply towards Secretary Li and Lin Wan. Lin Xiaoyuan's gaze was sharp, akin to that of a hawk. Secretary Li? Beads of perspiration formed on Secretary Li's forehead. This log may not be entirely comprehensive, she stammered. Investigate. Lin Xiaoyuan's single utterance was frigid and unequivocal. Secretary Li's fingers trembled as they danced across the keyboard. On the projection screen, a complex interface of the background operation log materialized. She inputted commands, filtering for the previous afternoon's operational records on Lin Wan's computer. A series of entries unfurled before us. 145521 user Lin Wan open document. Eastern District Development Plan 7. 150,147 user Lin Wan inserted device. Serial number 32. 150,215 user Lin Wan copied file. Eastern District Development Plan 7 to device. 150,248 user Lin Wan safely remove device. 150,302 user Lin Wan close document. The timestamps were precise to the second, and the actions were unequivocal. Lin Wan's face drained of color, becoming as pale as parchment. Her mouth opened in a fish-like gasp, yet no words emerged. Secretary Li's expression was ashen. I was just trying to explain. CEO Lin leave. Lin Shuyuan's voice was as cold as ice. Secretary Li shuddered. Lowering her head, her steps unsteady as she exited the conference room. The door closed behind her, leaving only the Lin siblings and me in the room. The atmosphere was thick with tension, almost suffocating. Lin Shuyuan's unwavering gaze fixated on the screen, then shifted to the pallid Lin Wan. His chest heaved as emotions of shock, disappointment, and a furious sense of betrayal surged within him. More than that, there was a profound disorientation. A collapse of trust in the sister he had once held in such high esteem. Why? His voice was hoarse, tinged with an almost imperceptible tremor. Lin Wan jolted her head up, tears streaming down her face, but her eyes no longer reflected vulnerability. Instead, they brimmed with a bitter, resentful defiance.
Why?
Her voice was sharp, laced with a sob yet distinctly clear. You ask me why?
She pointed at me.
Because of her.
Because of all of you.
Because of this family. You profess to care for me, to compensate me. But what lies within your hearts? She screamed hysterically. The way you look at me is always scrutinizing, always comparing. You measure me against her, who embodies the Lin family's daughter better. I strived relentlessly. I labored to please you. I arranged flowers until my hands bled. I studied those damnable etiquettes until my back ached. I burned the midnight oil trying to decipher incomprehensible reports. And what about you? Father, every time you praise me, you always append, if only Xiao Yu had half your effort. Do you truly care about me? Do you regret that she is not your biological daughter? Mother, you embrace me, claiming to feel for me. Yet your bedroom is cluttered with photographs of Xin Yu from her childhood. The dresses you purchased for her are 10 times more expensive than the designer one I wear. You only pity me. You never regarded me as your daughter. And you, brother. She glared at Lin Shuyuan, her eyes like daggers poisoned with venom. You treat me well. You guide me hand in hand. But what lies in the locked drawer of your study? It contains that hideous shell necklace you crafted for her 18th birthday. You never discarded it. You cherish it. Lin Shuyuan's body trembled violently, his face paling instantly. Lin Wan's tears flowed freely, her voice laced with frenzied hatred. This family. There is no place for me. I am merely a tool to assuage your guilt. I despise her. I loathe all of you. Zhou Ming sought me out, claiming he could assist me. Assist me in bringing the Lin family to its knees. Help me rid of Xin Yu once and for all. Why should I not act? She laughed sharply, like a madwoman. The Lin family owes me. Once she finished her tirade, she seemed to exhaust all her strength, collapsing into her chair, covering her face, sobbing uncontrollably. But this time, there was no pretense in her cries, only raw despair and resentment. Lin Shuyuan remained rooted to the spot, as if all strength had been stripped from him. He looked at me, his gaze a complex tapestry of guilt, anguish, and an unspeakable weight. I stood, the legs of my chair scraping against the floor, producing a harsh sound that shattered the suffocating silence. Brother, I spoke, my voice calm and unperturbed. I shall take my leave. He did not respond, merely waved his hand in a dejected manner. I exited the conference room, closing the door behind me, isolating the cries and heavy breaths within. In the corridor, sunlight streamed through the expansive floor-to-ceiling windows, somewhat blinding. I squinted and made my way to the elevator. Descending to the ground floor, stepping out of the imposing Lin building. The sunlight enveloped me, warm and comforting. I inhaled deeply. Yes, the outside air was far superior. I retrieved my phone and messaged Zhao Lele. Xin Yu, hot pot tonight? My treat. Zhao Lele. The sun has risen in the west? The miser is loosening his purse strings? Xin Yu. Yes, a celebration. Zhao Lele. Celebration for what? Did you win the lottery? Xin Yu. Celebrating that I can finally return to submit my receipts. Zhao Lele. I pocketed my phone and approached the roadside. Unlocking my second-hand electric scooter, I mounted it, turning the key, and the scooter buzzed cheerfully as I merged into the flow of traffic. The Lin household remained eerily silent for several days. Lin Wan was sent away. Lin Guodong and Su Minjia utilized some connections to enroll her in a strictly managed boarding school abroad, claiming it was for her to reflect. Secretary Li was dismissed. Before leaving, she paused at my workstation to collect her belongings. Xinyu, she regarded me, her eyes a medley of emotions. Did you know all along? As I organized the documents on my desk, I replied, know what? Know about Lin Wan. I don't know, I interrupted. I just believe that the background logs do not lie. Secretary Li fell silent. Ultimately, she sighed, you are quite different. I remained silent as she departed with her box. Lin Xiaoyuan grew increasingly reticent. At the company, he was still the decisive CEO Lin, yet an impenetrable gloom perpetually cloaked his brow. At home, his silence deepened. Su Minjia had fallen gravely ill, her figure appearing fragile, her spirit diminished. Lin Guodong seemed to have aged several years. The atmosphere in the household was oppressive, stifling, like the stillness before a storm. Only my small room remained my sanctuary, untouched. I went to work, returned home, read novels, played games, and lounged lazily. This weekend, I indulged in a rare lie-in, clutching my carrot-shaped pillow until a cautious knock at the door roused me. Xiaoyu, are you awake? It was Su Minjia's voice, tinged with fatigue. I rose and opened the door to find her standing outside, dressed in a casual cashmere sweater, her face devoid of makeup. The fine lines at the corners of her eyes were distinctly visible. She held a tray in her hands, upon which sat a steaming bowl of wontons. Mom? Xiaoyu offered a timid smile, nudging the tray forward. Zhang Ma said you love this, so I tried making some. Would you like to taste? I gazed at her, and in her eyes, I perceived a cautious anticipation, tinged with an almost imperceptible nervousness. I gestured for her to enter. She seemed to have received a pardon, quickly stepping into the small servantess room with the tray. In that modest space, she stood, somewhat at a loss. I moved the carrot-shaped pillow aside and accepted the bowl she offered. The clear broth was adorned with seaweed and shrimp skins, and delicately floating within were petite wontons. I lifted a spoonful, blew gently on it, and placed it in my mouth. The skin was thin, the filling composed entirely of pork, fresh and delectable. It's delicious, I declared. Su Minjia's eyes instantly sparkled, as if a constellation had descended upon her. Really? How's the seasoning? Is the filling too lean? Just right, I replied. Scooping another. She watched me eat, and a long-lost, genuine smile graced her face. If it's good, have some more. There's plenty left in the pot. I continued to eat in silence, while she observed quietly. In that tiny room, the only sounds were the gentle clink of spoon against bowl and the warm, swirling steam. Suddenly, Xiaoyu spoke softly, her voice laced with a hint of choking emotion. I'm sorry. I paused and looked up at her. Tears welled in her eyes. Mom, I'm sorry for everything. I was terribly wrong about Wanwan. I let her words cloud my judgment. I forgot that it was you who has been by my side for the past 20 years, the one who calls me Mom, the one who has worried for me and brought me so much joy. Tears streamed down her cheeks. I haven't been a good mother. I've been so foolish. She covered her face, her shoulders trembling, crying like a child. I set down the bowl and handed her a tissue. She took it, dabbing her eyes haphazardly. Mom, the wontons are getting cold. She paused for a moment, then broke into a smile. Right. Eat up. They'll all taste bad if they get cold. I resumed eating while she perched on a small stool by the bed, watching me with tender eyes, filled with a newfound appreciation. Your father isn't feeling well either. She murmured softly. He's just too proud to admit it. Mom, I interrupted, it's all in the past. She gazed at my calm face, and eventually nodded. Yes, it's all behind us. Once I finished, she took the empty bowl and left with a sense of satisfaction, her steps lighter. In the evening, Lin Guodong returned home. Instead of heading to the main house, he came directly to the backyard, standing at the entrance of my small room, hands clasped behind his back, wearing a stern expression as if inspecting the premises. Dad? He acknowledged, his gaze sweeping over my humble quarters, his brows furrowing in habitual disapproval. This room is too damp. Clean it up and move back to your original room. His tone was commanding, leaving no room for argument. I'm fine here, Dad, I replied. I've grown accustomed to it. Accustomed to what? His voice rose. The young lady of the Lin family living in the servantess quarters? What would others think?
I think it's quite nice, I said. Xinyu.
He was about to lose his temper. I met his gaze. Dad, I sleep soundly here. Lin Guodong glared at me, his chest heaving as if he were about to reprimand me. Ultimately, his frustration dissipated, and he waved his hand dismissively. Do as you wish. He turned to leave, but paused, his back to me. His voice, somewhat muffled, broke the silence. We've successfully bid for the land in the eastern city. Oh, congratulations.
Dad.
He fell silent for a few moments. That Zhou Ming from the Zhou family has been sent abroad by his family. Another pause. It seemed he wanted to say more, but ultimately left me with a single remark. If you need anything, tell Zhang Ma. Then he strode away, his figure notably stiff. 2 days later, in the evening, I was engrossed in a game on my tablet when there was a gentle knock on the door.
Come in.
The door opened to reveal Lin Shuyuan, dressed in loungewear, his usual cold demeanor softened. In his hands was a small, somewhat aged wooden box.
Brother?
He stepped inside and placed the box on my old desk, his movements slightly awkward. This is for you. What is it? Open it and see. I set down my tablet and approached, lifting the unsealed wooden lid. Inside lay a simple bracelet, rather rustic, composed of shells in various colors, some with edges worn to a pale white. This was the unique gift I promised you for your 18th birthday, Lin Xiuyuan said mysteriously. And here it is, this rather homely shell bracelet. At the time, I had scoffed at it. Brother, what is this? It's hideous. I want to wear it. Eventually, I had forgotten about it, never knowing he had kept it, hidden away in his locked drawer. I picked up the shell bracelet, its cool surface bearing the marks of time. Didn't you throw this away? I asked. Lin Xiuyuan leaned against the doorframe, not meeting my gaze, his eyes resting on the nearly lifeless pothose on my windowsill. I retrieved it, he replied in a low voice.
Oh.
The room fell silent again, save for the cheerful background music from my game. Shenyu, he suddenly called.
I'm sorry.
I remained silent. I was wrong, he continued, his voice strained. Terribly wrong. I shouldn't have doubted you, shouldn't have overlooked you, and definitely shouldn't have made you feel small just to compensate for Wanwan. He spoke slowly, each word seeming to be forced from his throat. His gaze finally landed on the bracelet in my hands. If you still think it's ugly, feel free to discard it. I caressed the smooth shells. It's not so bad, I replied. Retro styles are in vogue now. Lin Shuyuan paused, looking at me. I casually slipped the bracelet onto my wrist and gave it a shake. The shells clinked together, producing a soft, rustling sound. It's quite loud, I commented. Lin Xiuyuan observed the childish bracelet on my wrist and my expressionless face. His lips slowly curled into a smile, one that was more painful than laughter. Yet, deep within his eyes, a thick layer of ice seemed to crack, allowing a faint glimmer of light to shine through. He nodded. It is quite loud. He straightened up. Get some rest early.
Okay.
He turned and left, closing the door gently behind him. I looked down at the ugly shell bracelet on my wrist. Under the light, the shells reflected a faint yet warm glow. Life seemed to return to tranquility, yet there was an undeniable shift in the air. Su Minjia began to visit my small room more often, sometimes bringing a bowl of soup. At other times a piece of clothing she thought would suit me from her shopping excursions. Although the styles were usually not to my taste, she remained undeterred. Lin Guodong still wore a stern expression, but when passing through the backyard, he would slow his pace, occasionally shouting, Shenyu, the grass in the yard needs trimming, or that flower pot is about to die. After his outburst, he would storm away, hands behind his back. Soon after, old garden urchin would quietly come by to revive my pothose. Trim the weeds in the backyard with precision. Lin Shuyuan is at work, no longer treating me as a mere specter. Occasionally, he assigns me tasks that, while not central, require a modicum of intellect. This market research report is due in 3 days. Oh, I shall complete it. I will send it to his email. He will not offer praise. Merely respond with a cold, detached acknowledgement. Received. Subsequently, the next assignment he entrusts to me will slightly increase in difficulty, as if testing me anew or seeking to reevaluate my capabilities. During dinner that evening, the atmosphere at the table was unusually serene. Su Minjia offered me a piece of pork rib. Shall you eat more? You look so thin. Lin Guodong scoffed. Thin? You lounge around all day without moving. Lin Shuyuan quietly consumed his meal. His phone vibrated momentarily. He glanced at it, his brow furrowing slightly. Dad, Mom, it's about Wanwan. Su Minjia's hand, poised to serve more food, froze. The smile on her face faded. Lin Guodong also set down his chopsticks, and the atmosphere grew tense once more. Lin Wan is abroad and occasionally sends emails to report her safety. The messages are brief, formal, and imbued with a sense of distance. Su Minjia and Lin Guodong read them but seldom reply. That rift is profound, requiring time to mend. What's wrong?
Shumingyan ko ayer shofli.
Nothing, Lin Shuyuan replied, stowing away his phone. The school says she is adapting quite well. Oh, that's good, Su Minjia sighed in relief, serving me another helping of greens. Xiao Yu. This vegetable is fresh. The topic was awkwardly shifted. Lin Guodong cleared his throat, his gaze sweeping over us. Next month he began, his tone solemn. I will be celebrating my 60th birthday. We shall have a simple gathering at home, a family dinner. Su Minjia immediately nodded in agreement, yes. It's a perfect opportunity for the family to come together. Lin Shuyuan also nodded. Their eyes fell upon me, filled with a mixture of anticipation and anxiety. I swallowed my food.
Oh, all right.
Su Minjia's smile blossomed once more. Lin Guodong emitted a faint grunt and resumed eating. However, the corners of his mouth seemed to curve upward slightly. On Lin Guodong's birthday, the weather was splendid, the sun shining brightly. There was no grand celebration. It was simply held in the garden at home. Aunt Zhang, accompanied by the servants, arranged a long table adorned with a pristine white tablecloth, elegant dinnerware, and fresh flowers. A chef was hired to prepare a fusion of Chinese and Western dishes, filling the air with delightful aromas.
Shumingya wore a beautiful bao.
While Lin Guodong donned a festive tang suit for the occasion, Lin Shuyuan was dressed in a well-tailored suit. As for me, I wore a clean shirt with jeans. Upon seeing me, Su Minjia's eyes lit up. Xiao Yu is here. Come, sit down. She pulled me to sit beside her, in the position once belonging to the Lin family's eldest daughter. Lin Shuyuan sat opposite me and raised his glass in a toast. I lifted my juice in response. Lin Guodong occupied the head of the table, observing us with a neutral expression, yet his gaze was warm. Let us eat, he declared, foregoing any lengthy birthday speeches or insincere pleasantries. It was simply a family quietly sharing a meal. Sunlight filtered through the trellis, casting dappled shadows, while a gentle breeze carried the fragrant scents of flowers and food, creating a comforting ambience. Midway through the meal, Lin Guodong set down his chopsticks and looked at me. Xiao Yu. Why not move back home? It was not a command, but rather a tone of suggestion, laced with an almost imperceptible earnestness. Su Minjia gazed at me with expectation. Lin Shuyuan remained silent, yet his eyes were also fixed upon me. I set down my chopsticks. Dad, I'm quite content living in the back. Lin Guodong's brow instinctively began to furrow. It's peaceful, I added, and it's close to the kitchen, which makes it convenient for sneaking snacks. Su Minjia chuckled softly, and Lin Shuyuan's lips twitched. Lin Guodong glared at me, but ultimately, that flicker of anger transformed into resignation. Suit yourself. He raised his glass and took a large sip. Dad, Lin Shuyuan suddenly interjected, looking at me. The administrative department at the company is in need of a supervisor. Interested? Su Minjia's eyes brightened. Xiao Yu, your brother means. Not interested, I replied succinctly. Lin Shuyuan paused. I'm quite satisfied with my current job, I continued, taking a sip of juice. 9 to 6, no overtime, and simple colleague relationships. What do you call that a job? Lin Guodong could not help but retort. Dad, I replied, everyone has their aspirations. I simply wish to be a salted fish. Lin Guodong was momentarily at a loss for words. Su Minjia quickly intervened. All right, it's Dad's birthday today. Let us not discuss this. Xiao Yu, just be happy. Lin Shuyuan regarded me with a deep gaze. Ultimately, he nodded. Very well. He raised his glass. Dad, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Dad. We lifted our glasses, clinking them together, producing a clear, resonant sound. The sunlight was just right, and in the garden, time felt tranquil and serene. After finishing the cake, Lin Guodong was called away by a phone call to the study. Su Minjia and Aunt Zhang began tidying up. Lin Shuyuan took a work call. I slipped away to the backyard, settling onto my little swing and swaying lazily. The afternoon sun made one feel delightfully languid. Footsteps approached. Lin Shuyuan came over, having removed his suit jacket and now clad in just a shirt with rolled-up sleeves, appearing less austere and more approachable. He leaned against the post of the grape trellis, watching me swing. Really not moving back? He asked.
No.
Really not interested in returning to the company?
No. He paused.
What are your plans for the future?
Work.
And then? Leisure. He remained silent for a moment. Shin Yu. Thank you. I halted my swinging for a moment. What for? Thank you, he said. looking into the distance, his voice low, for still being willing to remain in this family. I remained silent, resuming my gentle swaying. Creak, creak. Brother. The shell bracelet, I said, shaking my wrist. It's quite noisy. Lin Xiuyuan paused, then chuckled softly, his laughter resonating from deep within, imbued with a long-lost sense of ease. If it's too noisy, take it off. I shan't. I closed my eyes, savoring the warmth of the sun on my eyelids, accustomed to it. The wind rustled, and the grape leaves whispered. The shells on my wrist produced a delicate, rustling sound, as if in response. In the sunroom, I nestled in a large bean bag, clutching my carrot-shaped pillow, with my tablet in hand, fingers scrolling through the screen. The cheerful background music of Happy Elimination played merrily. Before me, a small coffee table was piled high with chips, soda, spicy strips, and a plate of freshly washed grapes prepared by Aunt Zhang. Sunlight streamed through the glass roof, warm and cozy, making one feel drowsy.
Shenyu.
Su Mingjia's voice approached, tinged with playful reproach. Hiding here again. Is there not enough space in the living room for you to lounge about? She entered, carrying a bowl of freshly cut fruit. Upon seeing the heap of junk food before me, her brows immediately knitted together. Eating this again? It's not nutritious. She set down the fruit bowl and, without further ado, confiscated my newly opened bag of chips.
Mom.
I protested, but calling her that was futile. She handed the chips to Aunt Zhang, who had come in behind her. Take it away. Aunt Zhang stifled a laugh as she took the chips away. Su Mingjia pushed the bowl of vibrant fruits in front of me. Eat this. I sighed, spearing a piece of mango and popping it into my mouth.
Sweet.
Yet lacking the savoriness of potato chips. Mom will be back next month. Su Mingjia settled beside me, her tone somewhat tentative. Oh, she asked, returning for the summer. She scrutinized my expression, aware that the school hoped she would integrate more into the family.
Little you hesitated.
Mom, I swallowed the mango. That's my sister's home. She can come back anytime. Su Mingjia's eyes brightened momentarily, only to be overshadowed by a hint of sorrow. Mom is worried about you, worried that you might fight. I speared a slice of watermelon. You think we'll fight? Su Mingjia reassured me. Don't worry, as I bit into the watermelon. Its juice refreshingly sweet. I'm busy keeping myself entertained. Su Mingjia observed my nonchalant demeanor and ultimately chuckled helplessly.
You.
She reached out, attempting to ruffle my hair, but I deftly dodged.
Mom.
My hairstyle. What a ridiculous hairstyle you have. She teased, laughter resonating in the sunlit room. Lin Xiuyu's voice drifted in from the doorway, tinged with the fatigue of post-work calls. Mom, Xiuyu, you're hiding in here. His words trailed off as his gaze fell on my wrist, where the unattractive shell bracelet caught the sunlight, refracting a gentle glow. He paused, a barely perceptible smile curving his lips. Xiuyuan's back? Su Mingjia called out. Come, eat some fruits. Lin Xiuyuan approached, but chose to sit cross-legged on the carpet next to my lazy sofa rather than beside Su Mingjia, his demeanor relaxed. A stark contrast to the meticulous Lin's own. He picked up the half-drunk can of cola on the low table and took a swig. Ugh, garbage, he remarked disdainfully. Taking another sip, Su Mingjia shot him a glare. You should drink less too. Lin Xiuyuan set the cola can down and grabbed a grape, popping it into his mouth. Where's Dad? In the study on the phone. It seems to be about the Qingxi project, Su Mingjia replied. Lin Xiuyuan nodded, refraining from further inquiry. He turned to me. What level are you on? 387. I didn't look up, my fingers swiping across the screen. A dish. My finger paused as 3 consecutive candies vanished, the special effects exploding. Level cleared. Lin Xiuyuan raised an eyebrow. The sun cast a warm glow over the 3 of us, the air fragrant with the sweetness of fruits, the lingering aroma of fried potato chips, the effervescent sounds of cola, and the cheerful game music emanating from the tablet. On the day Wanwan returned, I didn't go to the airport to greet her. I slept in at home. Upon waking, I heard voices downstairs. I sluggishly washed up and changed into a clean shirt before heading downstairs. In the living room, Lin Wan sat on the sofa, donned in a simple white dress, her hair trimmed shorter. She appeared leaner and more composed, displaying less of her former timidity and sharpness, embodying a tranquility befitting a girl of her age. Su Mingjia held her hand, speaking softly. Lin Guodong sat nearby, engrossed in a newspaper, while Lin Xiuyuan stood by the window on the phone. When he noticed my descent, Lin Wan looked up, our eyes meeting. Her gaze flickered momentarily, revealing complexity, anxiety, guilt. and perhaps a hint of barely perceptible expectation. I approached her. "You're back?" She responded softly. "Is it hot outside?" "Not too bad." Our conversation felt dry. Su Minjia quickly interjected. "Wanwan, you must be tired from the flight. Why don't you head to your room to rest? Your room has been kept for you all along." Lin Wan's room was the second best suite in the house, aside from the master bedroom, boasting excellent lighting and a broad view. Yet, she shook her head. She glanced at me before quickly lowering her gaze, fidgeting with the hem of her shirt. "I can stay in a room in the backyard." The living room fell silent in an instant. Su Minjia was taken aback. Lin Guodong lifted his gaze from the newspaper. Lin Shuyuan also hung up the phone, looking over. Wanwan, Su Minjia began, but Lin Wan raised her head, summoning her courage. "The backyard is peaceful." Her gaze turned to me, carrying a hint of entreaty. "Sister, is that all right?" I looked at her. "As you wish." Lin Wan seemed to exhale in relief, a faint smile of liberation gracing her features. "Thank you, sister." Aunt Zhang assisted Lin Wan in moving her luggage to the backyard, just next door to my room, which had been cleared of clutter. It was quite nice. That evening, the family gathered for dinner, and the seating arrangement felt a bit awkward. Lin Guodong held the main seat, with Su Minjia to his left, Lin Wan beside Su Minjia, and Lin Shuyuan on the right. I sat next to Lin Shuyuan. Lin Wan appeared somewhat reserved, only taking food from in front of her. Su Minjia instinctively reached to serve her, but her chopsticks halted midway as she glanced between Lin Wan and me. Ultimately, her chopsticks landed in Lin Guodong's bowl. "Guodong, your favorite fish." Lin Guodong merely nodded. Lin Shuyuan's mouth twitched in amusement. I lowered my head, focusing on my rice. Lin Wan stared at her empty bowl, then at Su Minjia, her eyes reflecting a hint of disappointment. Yet soon after, she picked up the communal chopsticks, selecting a piece of rib and placing it in Su Minjia's bowl. "Mom, you should eat too." Su Minjia was momentarily stunned, her eyes glistening.
Oh, good.
"Good. Wanwan, you eat too." Lin Wan then picked up a piece of stir-fried bamboo shoots and placed it in Lin Guodong's bowl.
Dad.
Lin Guodong acknowledged with a nonchalant his expression neutral. Yet his hand, holding the chopsticks, seemed to pause briefly. Lin Wan's gaze shifted to Lin Shuyuan, who was eyeing the chicken wings in my bowl. Lin Wan hesitated before ultimately picking up a shrimp and placing it in Lin Shuyuan's bowl. "Brother." Lin Shuyuan snapped back to attention, glancing at the shrimp, then at Lin Wan, and nodded. Lin Wan's gaze finally landed on me. She appeared to hesitate for a moment before taking the communal chopsticks, lifting a piece of braised pork. Trembling slightly, she reached across half the table and placed it in my bowl.
Sister.
I was in the midst of gnawing on a chicken wing when I noticed the suddenly added, glistening piece of braised pork in my bowl. I looked up to see Lin Wan watching me, her eyes tinged with anxiety, as if fearing rejection. I took my chopsticks, picked up the piece of braised pork, and savored it. Rich yet not greasy, it melted in my mouth. "Delicious," I remarked. Lin Wan's eyes lit up instantaneously, akin to stars falling from the sky. She lowered her head, nibbling at her rice, but her lips subtly curved upwards. Dinner passed in a serene silence, imbued with an oddly comforting harmony. After the meal, I slipped out to the backyard and settled onto my little swing, swaying gently. The evening breeze caressed me, carrying the scent of fresh grass. The light in the adjacent room was on, the window ajar. Lin Wan sat at her desk by the window, engrossed in something quietly. After a while, she seemed to sense my gaze, lifting her head. Upon seeing me, she froze momentarily before offering a shy, gentle smile. I nodded in return and continued to sway on my swing, the rhythmic creaking echoing softly, while the shells on my wrist produced delicate sounds akin to whispers of a summer night. The sunlit room remained my domain, the enormous lazy sofa sinking deeply into the embrace of comfort. I resemble a boneless octopus, languidly sprawled within. My tablet rests upon my abdomen, my fingers idly swiping across the screen. The cheerful sounds of Happy Match echo around me. On the low table lie stacks of potato chips, cola, spicy strips, and half a pack of unfinished sunflower seeds. Sunlight filters through the glass ceiling, warming my back in a delightful embrace. Footsteps resonate, more than one person approaching. "I knew you would be hiding here." Su Minjia's voice carries a tone of playful exasperation as she enters, followed closely by Lin Wan, who delicately balances a fruit platter filled with vibrantly sliced fruits. "Mom, little sister," I greet them lazily, my gaze never leaving the screen. Su Minjia confiscates my open bag of chips, admonishing me, "How many times must I tell you? Eat less of these." Lin Wan places the fruit platter on the low table, nestled beside the heap of junk food. She glances at my lazy couch, then at the small stool beside it, hesitating momentarily before imitating my posture and sitting cross-legged on the thick carpet. Her sitting position appears somewhat awkward and stiff. Su Minjia pauses in surprise, then breaks into a smile. She joins Lin Wan, opting against a small stool, and settles down on the carpet as well. It's fine. The carpet is soft. Su Minjia waves her hand dismissively. In the sunroom, I recline on the lazy couch, engrossed in my game, while Su Minjia and Lin Wan sit cross-legged on the carpet, one peeling an apple, the other quietly watching. Sunlight bathes them, creating an atmosphere of tranquility and warmth. Lin Shuyuan's voice echoes from the doorway. I was wondering where everyone was. He steps inside, his suit jacket draped over his arm, his tie loosened, exuding a hint of post-work languor. His gaze sweeps over the three of us, landing on the shell bracelet adorning my wrist, a slight smile tugging at his lips. He approaches and naturally sits down on the carpet at my feet, leaning against the couch's base, his long legs casually extending. What level are you on? He inquires. 502, I respond, my fingers gliding across the screen. So slow, I pause as 4 consecutive matches explode in a burst of special effects, signaling my victory. TSK, Lin Shuyuan raises an eyebrow, picking up the half-empty cola can from a low table. Is there more? Fridge, I reply without lifting my head. He rises to retrieve a new can from the built-in refrigerator, popping it open with a satisfying hiss as the bubbles escape. He takes a generous sip, letting out a contented sigh. Trash, he remarks disdainfully, taking another sip. Su Minjia cuts the peeled apple into small pieces, skewering them with toothpicks before offering me one. Shall you have some fruit? She also hands a piece to Lin Wan. Wan should eat too. Lin Shuyuan, with an instinctive motion, reaches for one. What about mine? Su Minjia shoots him a sidelong glance. Do it yourself. Lin Shuyuan resignedly picks up an apple and the fruit knife, awkwardly attempting to peel it. The skin breaks several times, prompting Su Minjia to furrow her brow in disapproval. Clumsy. Let me do it. No need. Lin Shuyuan dodges her offer, continuing his battle with the apple skin. Lin Wan observes his clumsy efforts, biting her lip to suppress a laugh. The sun warmly floods the sunroom, filling the air with the fragrant scent of fruit, the gentle sweetness of cola, the savory aroma of chips, and above all, the comforting essence of home. I set my tablet down and stretch languidly, my bones cracking in response. I'm hungry, I declare. Su Minjia instantly asks, what do you want to eat? I'll have the kitchen prepare something. Lin Wan quietly suggests, how about ordering takeout? Fried chicken? Lin Shuyuan finally finishes peeling the bumpy apple, taking a bite. And a pizza. Su Minjia glares at him. More junk food. No one pays her any mind. I grab my phone, opening the takeout app. Plain fried chicken, sweet chili sauce, double fries. The pizza should be durian with roasted meat. Lin Wan leans in to view the screen. Sister, let us add a portion of chicken wings? Sure. Lin Shuyuan adds, let us also get onion rings. Su Minjia glances at us three, ultimately sighing in resignation, and a portion of vegetable salad. I swiftly place the order, satisfied. I set my phone down and recline back into the lazy couch, clutching my carrot-shaped pillow, rubbing my face against it in comfort. The sunlight is just right, and the breeze is gentle. The shell bracelet on my wrist jingles softly with my movements, creating a delicate, off-key melody that feels warm and inviting. Life feels splendid. A lazy fish, soaking up the sun, occasionally flipping over is just perfect. The end. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this, remember to like and subscribe. Until we meet again in the next story.